Yeah, so one of the things that we're seeing across the country is all women are fired up and voting. One of the things that's quite different, and it's really been different since Roe v. Wade changed, is you're seeing generations of women coming together finally to understand the importance of having your own capability to decide what you're going to do with your body. And I remember this in 2016 when I would have young women tell me, we have nothing to worry about. Roe v. Wade is the law of the land. We're going to be okay. What is different since then is that you've seen women come together, different generations, different races, and say, hey, we need to have a voice in this election cycle time and time again since that decision was made. And we're seeing it again in this presidential.
Amanda, I suppose my next really obvious question is how much is this groundswell of opinion going to affect the election? I say that with reference to this very late shock poll in the Des Moines Register as well, in a state that actually most abortions are banned after around about 6 weeks as well. Is it going to move the needle on this election?
Well, I think we've seen this move the needle since really 2022. We saw that in the election. We saw it in 2020. We've been seeing it every single election cycle since the decision has been made and since states have put in laws or abortion bans that really restrict women's freedom. And so it's not surprising that you see a 6-week ban in Iowa and then you see women show up to vote. Now, one might say maybe they're showing up to vote because they like that abortion ban, but we have yet to see that across the country since we've seen Roe v. Wade overturned here in the States.
Amanda, the narrative that it's women turning out to vote and that they're turning out for Harris clearly works for the Harris camp. But there is a view that perhaps it could be about the men, and Trump has been very much going after the male voter, even black men as well, where typically you'd think Harris might be able to have an edge here, enough so that Obama had to come out and also try and rally up some support. So could men actually be the driver here at this vote?
Listen, I think it's going to be a really interesting race to see Black and Latino men and what they do. Now, what I will say is the Madison Square Garden election event, or like one of the final events of the Trump campaign, I think we will look back on that moment as quite a bad misstep by the Trump campaign to really have a comedian come in and denigrate not just Puerto Ricans, but Latinos largely, and even make jokes about Black people in general. I think that last misstep, I think we might look back and see what that has done to the Black male vote as well as the Latino male vote in this election cycle.